Well, hello and welcome to Young Black and in Business with myself, Anelisa Tuswa. This is officially the first episode, but not really the first episode because it is the introductory episode where you get to know a little bit more about the podcast and myself. Of course, it does feel a bit weird to do that alone, so I've brought in my good friend, Presh, to be my co-host or to interview me today. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Guest host.
Fresh, welcome to Young Black and in Business.
Thank you so much.
I think let's do the switch.
Okay, cool.
Oh, this feels weird, but okay.
Hello and welcome to Young, Black and in Business. My name is Precious Matshaya and I'm your guest host for today. And our guest on the podcast today is your actual host, Anelisa Tuswa.
Welcoming me to my podcast.
I know, right?
Sounds weird.
So our guest today was actually born and bred in Gqeberha, in the Eastern Cape. She came to Johannesburg to pursue her studies at the University of Witwatersrand, which is known as Wits University. Not only did she study, she graduated in BA. I'm going to read that out.
Hi, Bo, there's no need to go. Do you know what? My academics, a bit of a funny story. And I think I always say to people, just know I went to varsity, graduated twice.
I just had to say it. You didn't just go to university.
Oh, come on.
You graduated twice.
Come
on. In international relations and politics, honors in journalism and media studies. Amongst many other things, she's been named Mail and Guardian amongst the 200 young South Africans and Celsius women to watch out for. Worked in business broadcasting industry across platforms like Asset TV, CNBC Africa, ENCA's Moneyline, and ETV and Sports News. Not forgetting her market updates on Metro FM and Radio 2000. After 8 years of service in the broadcasting industry, she went to pursue her career in corporate communications. Anelisa Tuswa.
That sounds so long.
I know, right?
But it's a summary, but it's very...
I had to do that because I feel like people think you're just this content creator who just came about.
Oh, no.
And you've worked really hard to be where you are today,
friends.
right?
Let's...
First things first, I think the first place to start at your career, you've been a business storyteller since day one.
Yeah.
Where does the love come from?
I mean, there's two folds to it, right? One, I've always been a storyteller. I am the child that used to tell Insomi. I think Xhosa people call it Insomi, but it's folk's tale.
Yes.
Like
Fairy tale.
Yes. So I've always been that child. I've always enjoyed those because also between my mom and my grandmother, that's just it in the family. Siyathanda ubalisa ekhaya.
Yeah.
But I got my first writing or storytelling gig at 16. So I started writing at 16 on a school magazine called, what was it called?
Is this high school?
Yes, Mzansi Journal. Yes.
Wow.
My first article was published at 16 for Mzansi Journal.
Right.
And I mean, from there, I think to just fast forward to the first job, which was at CNBC Africa as a business producer, I think the consistency in everything that I've done from 16 up until my first job was to tell Black stories. And I think when I got to CNBC, I got exposed to different kinds of stories. They were not just Black stories, but they were economic related stories. They were business stories. And I was always fascinated when I would see other people, and I'm saying other as in non-Black people, dominating the business space, dominating the economy, which pushed my urge to question on where are we? Like, why don't I see us? And I'm saying us because CNBC was such a broad platform. So every time when I would see a Black person, it would be from West Africa, from East Africa. But like in terms of finding Black South Africans, in the platform. It was quite tricky, which really pushed me to continue to pursue the journalism business story side of it. And I mean, I moved to ENCA, and ENCA was a breath of fresh air for me because I was still doing business, but ENCA was predominantly Black. So I could actually, I enjoyed the job. I was calling the young Black people who were in business. I was calling the Black analyst. I was starting to see more of us in the business community. And the anchor then, Usikim Kabateli, she was one of the first Black women to host business show. And that fascinated me. And I mean, it's been what? 10 years. And a lot has changed in the industry. A lot has changed. But I think my love and passion stems from the fact that I started in an industry where I didn't interview enough people that looked like me. And I wanted and I wondered, where are we? And I think Young and Black in business right now is me trying to show the world that this is where we are actually.
Love it.
It's not that there are not enough of us. It's just that we don't get the platform.
Right. Fast forward. You're launching your own business podcast. Why now? What inspired you?
I mean, like I said, I think the first part for me is for a very long time. When I started in the industry.
Because you could have done it then.
Yeah.
You're doing it now.
But I think now there's a better story to tell.
Oh, great.
I think 10 years ago when I started in the space, I don't want to do a disservice in the media because I've worked in the media. I think there were less stories to tell. But I think right now I'm seeing an emerging young Black professionals taking up taking up the responsibility of running a business. And I think we need to be applauded because it's not an easy thing. And I think right now is the right time for me. I think I was emotionally, mentally ready, but I think there's more stories to tell now compared to 10 years ago. But I also think I'm in a space in my life where I'm not apologetic about who I am. And I think 10 years ago, I was trying to fit in. I was trying to be known and accepted. So I had to protect myself and protect, because I mean, to say young, Black and in business, another person is going to say, it's purely for Black people. It's not. But I'm not apologetic if that's how you want to see it. In this stage of my life, I'm not apologetic. I'm not sorry that I'm creating a platform for people that look like me. But 10 years ago, I was younger. I could have, the backlash that I was going to probably receive back then, I wouldn't have been able to take up and own it. Right now, I'm just like, I'm ready. What do I have to lose? So I think right now is the right time, but also I think more than anything, there's more stories to tell now compared to back then.
Tell me about your primary goal of Young Black and in business.
Sure. I mean, I think for me, more than anything is I want to tell stories of young Black people. I want to show our resilience. And this comes from a place of business was never our thing. And I'm saying our thing in the sense of, typically, when you think of a Black person, you grew up in a township or in a rural area, right? When you think of a Black-owned business, you think of Ispaza shop, you think of the hairdresser, you think of Umamutungai or the taxi owner. But the emergence of young Black professionals who've gone to varsity, who are participating in the real economy. I think I want to tell those stories. I want to show that there's more to us than owning taxis. We've got lawyers. We've got Black professionals who are running we've got CEOs, we've got CFOs, we've got young Black people who own mines. We've got young Black people who own creative studios. And I think I want to tell those stories, that there's so much more to us. But the second part is, for me, which is quite key, is the entrepreneurship journey is quite lonely. And I'm saying this as an entrepreneur myself. It is a lonely road, Precious. It is one of those things where if you don't have a community, it could break you. And I want this podcast to be a business directory. So when you are looking for a Black-owned business, you know where to find young Black people. But I want it also to be a community where you can see yourself through the person that I've interviewed. I think most of us didn't grow up in households where businesses were ran. Our parents worked for somebody. And we don't have that role model in business much, other than Motsepe, that the way case achieves. But I can count like a handful of Black people in business that we grew up looking up to. And that's not fair. I think progression and growth allows you to see that in order for me to grow as a person and in business, I need to see somebody like me doing it. I need to be affirmed. I need somebody to tell a story that sounds so familiar.
It's more like of a reassurance as a Black child.
Exactly. You know, there's a joke that people always say, but Ubanbani started their business in a garage. They dropped out of Harvard. And I'm like, asinazo ne garage tine lokshi. Asinazo ne garage.
Yeah.
And if you drop out of vets, the odds of you making it as a Black child, they are this small. So there are certain stories that you hear and you're like, you're speaking from a point of privilege.
Yeah.
But I want this podcast to be a place where our realities are confirmed and affirmed. That there is nothing wrong for you to pursue your qualification and then decide from there that this qualification is what's going to get me into business.
Yeah.
And like I said, there are a lot of reasons why I'm doing this, but I think the top three really, it's creating a community because it's very lonely.
I love it.
A business directory for people like us to support each other. Because sometimes it's not a matter of you don't want to, it's just you don't know where to start. But again, more than anything, to create stories that resonate with people like you and I.
Yeah. So this is your season 1.
Season 1, yes.
Right.
Season 1, hopefully more to come. But time will tell.
More to come.
Time will tell.
What can your audience expect from season 1?
So a lot of emotions, hey?
Is it?
A lot of depth. But I think in terms of guesting, expect a diversified group of people.
Really? Now I'm expecting.
Like expect different stories as well, because no business starts the same. I think one of the exciting things that I've done when I was shooting this is I was asking most of my guests on how the business idea came about. Ooh. You will be surprised.
Really?
There are people who started their businesses because, my wife said she was tired. Okay. And there is somebody that started his business because he had graduated out of varsity.
And there's no jobs.
And there was no jobs. And he finally got a job. But even when he did get a job, he wanted to create an opportunity for somebody else so that no other Black child goes through what he went through. So really, it's beautiful. I'm getting goosebumps every time I think about the stories that you guys will hear. But it's beautiful stories. It's real people. It's people like you and I who don't come from fancy backgrounds. They had no backing. There's a lady that I spoke to, her backing was her husband. When she told her husband that, listen, this career that I chose, I like it, but I want to pursue my first love. And the husband was like, go for it, Thandwa Sam. So these are the beautiful stories. These are the beautiful stories that you also that are going to make you sit down and reassess if you delaying your dreams or your idea, is it because of the resources or is it just you being typically lazy? I think that's what I want us. I want us to reassess. When you watch every episode, you're going to have to go back and think, why am I delaying my idea? What has been my stumbling block? And what can I learn from this particular person that I've seen? You can expect stories of resilience as well. I think one of the most beautiful things that I've seen throughout this season is abantu bayabekezela when it comes to your dreams, Presh. Like, it's overwhelming me and I'm getting so emotional every time I think about it because I had this idea of a podcast in 2020. And I kept pushing it out because, this needs me, I'm going to use my money to do this, I'm going to do that. And I kept pushing out the idea.
Yeah.
Up until I sat across right now, when we were shooting these episodes, and I realized that, guys, like people stand still when it comes to their dreams. Yes, things get hard. But if there's one thing across all the people that I've interviewed, no journey was easy. Sometimes they've had to refine and redefine the business idea. And it's fascinating for me because sometimes when you go through all these challenges, whether you're in a mainstream career or in business, you think that, oh, this is a lot. I don't know if I can take it.
Yeah.
But people go through a lot to see their dreams come alive.
Keep going. When you're faced with challenges like those or serious.
I mean, I think, this
when
is
everything just crumbles and falls and you don't know what to do next to make sure you.
Everybody that I met in this podcast press was saying the same thing, that they pray. Like, I have not met a person.
There's no other option.
I have not met a person that said when shit hits the fan that I wanna buy a McDonald's. No, everybody said, you know what? I leaned back into myself. I reconnected with my soul. I reconnected with God. I reconnected with my ancestors. Like, these are real people, everyday people.
So it's real life stories.
It's real life stories.
Okay, so before we close, you've always been goal driven. How do you do it, Lisa? Like, talk about God and your ancestors, because you're very big on that.
So, I think, you've known me for a very long time, but I think I stand firm. I stand firm, and I stand firm because I've got.
But you're still soft, which is quite tricky for me sometimes.
Do you know what? Now you're exposing me.
Sorry, I just had to.
But I think I stand firm, friend. I stand firm because I've got a backing. I've got a backing of ancestors that are literally holding me down on every season. Now, I'm Xhosa, and I think one of the most amazing things about being Xhosa is that you don't have to choose between God and ancestors.
Yeah.
My ancestors are my guardian angel, and I firmly believe in God's work. And I think that combination has kept me so grounded that even when on seasons where I felt like things were not going my way, things were slowing down, I knew that there are people behind me who are rooting and trying to get me to get there.
Sure.
I am blessed with an amazing family.
Oh.
I'm blessed with amazing friends. There are avenues in my life where I'm like, shaky. But I think those two institutions have also played such an important role in the person that I am. Because every time I go to my friends or to my family, my dreams are validated. And again, I'll always go back to the fact that I'm fully backed by Idlozi, guys. My ancestors don't play about me. But also God does not play about me.
Absolutely.
I don't remember a season in my life where I went through it and I thought I was alone. I've always known that in every season, God is there. My ancestors are there. My mother is there. My best friends are there. My friends, my community is there. So I think more than anything, it's my resilience cannot be, I cannot take the credit for it. I can only credit God and my ancestors for that resilience and the angels that they've sent to surround me so that I stay grounded. But if there's one thing I don't do is andikung. I don't shake. Every season of my life, I stand still because I know I'm not alone. I don't wander around. Sometimes I'll sit down, but you won't find me wandering around. If you see me sitting down and I'm laying low, I'm re-strategizing.
Yeah.
And I'm consulting the necessary people.
Yeah.
So that I can go back and be fully powered.
Sure.
So that's really it, hey? There's no other secret.
With all this great work that you've done, that you're still going to do, which I believe, what mark do you want to live in this world?
That's an important question, but
what mark do you want to leave in this world?
I don't know. If there's one thing I've always said is I want somebody to, when they think of me and they think of a safe space, I want somebody who crossed my path with me, or who has crossed paths with me, to know or feel that they were safe. Whether it is the stranger that I gave my last 10 rand, or the person that failed me in business and ran away with my money. I want them to remember me as the person that gave them a safe space. And I could want a lot of things. I would want you to know I was beautiful. I had a nice car, I had a big house and all of that. I don't think those things matter.
Yeah, there's more to life than material things.
I think at the end of the day, how you leave somebody feeling after an engagement with them, whether it was a short or a long one, you want them to remember it, remember that engagement and feel some sense of ease and calm. And I think that's all I want. I want somebody to remember me as the person that that made them feel safe and brought in some form of calm and just left them feeling good about themselves. Yeah.
Feeling safe. Alrighty then, that was it from me and Anelisa Tuswa. We're signing out from Young, Black and in Business. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share with your friends. See you on the next one.